Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to a holiday pre-tape of SJU, where we're talking about everyone's favorite event of the year, the Academy Awards. Oh, the glitz, the glam. But we're also going to be catching up on some other news bits and bobs. We've got some awesome trailers to talk about, and about 500 remakes got announced this week. We'll see which ones are worthy. None. We also have a junket. Somebody, Eric, who caught up with the Peacemaker?
I did.
You did. Okay, awesome. So you can tell us all about that at the end. Keep those questions and comments coming in the live chat. We will not be responding to them because this isn't live, baby. but we will maybe take some fan questions if I can travel into the future and bring them back to the present, which is your past. We begin with the Oscars. ABC announced that there would be a host for the 2022 Academy Awards that I believe are taking place late March this year. And that prompted them, because why come up with your own ideas, to ask on Twitter, hypothetically, if we asked you who you would want to host the Oscars, and this is strictly hypothetical, who would it hypothetically be? And because
is that the word of the day, hypothetical?
Yeah, that's the wordle. Because people only have one idea in their heads. Everybody said variations of Spider-Man. All three Spider-Man, just one Spider-Man. I see some Ricky Gervais in there. But I want to address the most popular response first. What do you guys think about three Spider-Man, Triderman, hosting the Oscars this year, or any combination of them thereof? Does that idea appeal to you, or is that gimmicky? What do you think, Danielle?
Oh, I mean, it's gimmicky as hell, but like, who cares? I mean, whatever. Like, it's, we didn't even realize the Golden Globes were happening. So, whatever they decide to do, I do think out of the three Spider-Men's, I think Garfield would probably be the most natural host, just because he's got that kind of like exuberant energy. But yeah, no, I don't, it's no host, a host, like it's all awkward and stupid no matter what you do.
Sure.
Yeah,
people want to have it both ways, where it's like the Oscars are stupid and they don't count, but then when something they don't like wins, they're like, oh, the wrong thing won. And it's like, you can't think. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, that's a different story. Eric, what's your take on the Spider-Man?
It should be Jake Johnson has Peter P. Parker, and he's wearing sweatpants.
If you bring in all the Spider-Verse voice actors, like Nick Cage in a pig costume,
there, yeah.
Oh, and it's like a pig tie-in if he gets nominated for a pig too. That'd be great.
Get Mulaney in there. Here's my honest answer, which is that Spider-Man No Way Home they're heavily campaigning it for nominations, including Best Picture. It probably will not get that, but I would honestly say, wouldn't it be weird to make the host from a movie that, even if it doesn't get a nomination, is so heavily kind of being campaigning for it? I don't know. Just seems like they should probably separate that out a little bit. So even though, of course, my fanboy heart is like, yeah, Spider-Man everywhere, and J.K. Simmons is Jonah Jameson, and we'll just bring them all in, I feel like, it probably should be someone different. That's my gut.
I would say that it would be like a nice little nod for, it's like, well, we're not gonna let your little comic book movie get nominated, but we will give you these dudes that you love.
Right. Here's the dudes.
It's like a consolation prize.
There's always this divide of like the Oscars as a record of achievement in cinema, and the Oscars as a televised event that they want people to watch. Right. And there's definitely a push and pull in there. And I fall on I think the Oscars should not be filmed. It should just be tweeted. It should be the Hollywood elite getting to, take off their human skins and finally be who they want to be in private.
Sacrifice a gold man.
Yeah, exactly. But if we have to save the Oscars, and by that I mean get people to watch it, Ryan just sent me a very interesting tweet sent by Matt Goldberg, who works at Turner Classic Movies, and he says, quote, "One of the weirder and perhaps sadder aspects of the Oscars is that if you really wanted to get young people to tune in, the best way to do that would be to debut trailers for movies that appeal to young people." So I would love that. It's like Olivia Colman wins Best Actress for Lost Daughter. And now look at Doctor Strange 2, the multiverse of madness. What do you think about dropping trailers in the middle of the show?
I feel like it used to be at least a rule that they would not show trailers during the ceremony. Like it was a whole like keep it separation thing. I feel like that might have started to already go away. But yeah, I mean, right now, look, they need viewers. They've been losing them more and more award shows in general have, the Oscars included. So I think, yeah, the old rules are out the window.
Yeah.
So sure, bring in those bright and shinies. Show Michael Keaton in full Batman outfit, and the Flash has a trailer in between best sound design and best animated short.
Just have them come out and act out the trailer. That'd be fun. Like
That's
everybody who's in
yes.
the trailer, like just have them come out in their costumes. Someone else like narrates it, and they're just like, quick cut. As you see, Doctor Strange's anthropomorphic cape is like, like quick cut. And then
I would love to see the Spider-Man turn off the dark version of Doctor Strange 2, where it's just a live show.
Yes.
And that's always been my that's the inherent disadvantage of the Oscars compared to like the Grammys or I guess the Tonys. Like you can sing and dance at the Tonys, you can sing at the Grammys, like you can do the thing that you're there to recognize. You can't do a movie live on stage.
They do best song and that's it.
Yeah, that's all they could do. But I would love to see the actors have to do like monologues. Like, all right, you think you're the best actor? Like, let's see, do Glengarry Glen Ross, like Coffee for Closers.
What if it's like a cold read where they're giving each other scenes and then they don't know which one they're gonna get?
Yeah, that's appointment television right there.
It's like Oscar Isaac, you do Benedict Cumberbatch's monologue from Power of the Dog. Go and
yes,
that'd
be fantastic. So and then it's like the fans vote on who did the best job. I think that we should throw viewership out the window, and I just want to hear, in your heart of hearts, who do you think would make the best Oscar host this year? If you were responding to that tweet from the Academy, you can't choose Spider-Man, or you can choose Spider-Man. Screw it, up to you.
I mean, John Mulaney would be that's a good poll. That is a good poll for some people. The kids like him.
He's had a lot of drama, a lot of attention around him.
You can joke about crazy year for me. And we're like,
yeah, we get it. We see what you did. Plus, it's also like just because he's already such the way that he like performs and his cadence and stuff already lends itself to be okay with awkward humor. So it's not someone who's like like Chris Rock, like pacing up and down the stage and stuff like that, where it's like it doesn't really fit the vibe. I think that it could be like that could be an okay one.
I like that pick a lot. I think that he did such an amazing job. I randomly happened to stumble across him and Nick Kroll, who do Hello together. If they could, maybe they could pair them up, because they co-hosted the Independent Spirit Awards
a few times.
Yeah, and they just like their monologue just crushes it so hard. They're so funny, and like I think they strike, for me, a good balance between really roasting the movies that they're talking about and being funny and knowing what they're talking about. So
the Spirit Awards really gets it right. Like they are really fun.
Yeah.
I will go though I am pro Mulaney. I'll go with another like internet favorite pick these days and say I'm all about Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez posting together, both because I think it'd be really fun. And obviously Steve Martin, he's hosted twice before. He's a natural at these things, and him and Short are great together. And you bring in Gomez for the kids, and mostly because I want Spencer to reevaluate Only Murders in the Building, because it's a great show.
Shot. Yeah, that would be fantastic. They're really good on stage, and Selena Gomez brings the kids. I have like a
real quick, actually, Spencer, before you say yours, we should mention that pick that Eric just had it seems to actually be on the table for what it's worth. It was specifically mentioned in the Variety article as something the
internet might will it into being.
Oh man, so, if Martin Short could just do the whole thing as Jiminy Glick, I would die happy. That would be.
And if we're gonna go on the corporate connection, Hulu, Disney, Oscars, ABC, Disney,
which is what Variety
all
was
are
mentioning.
one under Disney.
Well, I've got a Disney one. I've got a dark Joker-fied pick, but it doesn't seem so on the surface. But you were going to unite, kids who are like just Marvel fans and they just like comic books. You're going to unite, meat and potatoes, red state America, and you're going to unite snarky liberals who want to hate watch things. And he already does everything anyways. Chris Pratt. That is my dark Joker-fied pick to host the Oscars, because you're getting all those people to watch for
there'll be reactions.
The reactions are going to be great. I think that it's a bold pick, but also super conventional. So I don't know. I think that there's some black. We might open up like a portal in time and space if we do that. If he can't take so many roles, it's collapsing. But I think that it would
the
get
Tomorrow War begins here on stage at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Well, Pete Davidson kind of fit that bill of like all these different people would watch it for different reasons.
Super polarizing.
He's like he's
counted
only
him out.
popular on like the internet and like girls with Brazilian butt lifts. Like those are the only people who like
BBLs, baby.
Think about how many future girlfriends.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Think about how many
everybody else
future
looks at
girlfriends
him.
Pete Davidson would make.
Right.
At night at the Oscars.
I think he's probably more internet and like gossip magazine famous than he is like getting like those people who know who Pete Davidson is and is dating were already going to watch the Oscars.
Right.
But anyways, that's just what we think. Put your ideas in the chat where I will not be able to see them. And then maybe tomorrow, which is several days from now, we'll respond to it then. Love these
it'll be commentary, so probably not.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, mix it up, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for watching on our day off. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell and do all those things because we have fun doing the show and hopefully somebody's watching. Let's talk about some news. I want to talk about 3 awesome trailers that came out for different reasons and to varying degrees of awesome. One was A24's horror porno.
I'm horno to see it, that's for sure.
Known simply as X. Trailer 2, the Bob's Burgers movie, finally getting a film-length version of that, and trailer 3, the Foo Fighters horror movie Studio 666. I just want to say react, baby. You can pick any one of those, and I will take the one remaining. Eric, which one do you want to talk about?
X, because this is my jam. I very excited. A24, which is funny because this actually looks more mainstream than a lot of A24 stuff. I say looks because who the hell knows where the hell this could go? Because it seems like the log line here is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's about a group of porn stars getting into the crazy situation. But I'm sold on that scenario. I love the mood and vibe of it and the throwback of it. It's a really fun trailer. Also, by the way, I had never really seen Jenna Ortega in anything until the new Scream, but I thought she was great in it. So I'm like, oh, here she is in another horror movie. So that's cool. So this one, definitely just seemed very up my alley. I'm pre-sold on X.
Yeah, I mean, A24 has the best horror movies for me, and I'm not a big horror fan, but they always cross over and do it for me. And they have the best movies about porn stars or people doing sex work. So I think that combining the two is really a no-brainer. And like this looks like more on the fun side of the A24 spectrum, more in the Zola category than the Moonlight. But I'm still super psyched to see this. And I didn't know about this until I saw this trailer. So this is a must watch. God willing, we'll be able to get back in theaters and check this out in the group. And Danielle, any thoughts on this, or do you want to move on to your?
It looks good, but am I ever psyched for Studio 666? Holy crap! It just looks like so much fun. Yeah. Dave Grohl clearly having the time of his life. I love the premise. I love the Foo Fighters, obviously. Hometown girl. I am. It looks like a really, really good time in a movie that's not going to be taking itself super duper seriously. Because I'm the other ones look great too, but this is one where I'm really like, I have no idea what is happening here or what's going to happen or how this happened, but I am really, really excited for whatever this winds up being.
Yeah, Dave Grohl has always been as entertaining off stage as on for me. Mm-hmm. Just looking up remember that YouTube video about the time he got like addicted to coffee? And he keeps yelling fresh pots at people. That's one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. Look, if I can't get a Tenacious D movie, I'll take this. If I can't get a Tenacious D follow-up, this is still solidly in that genre of like, fantasy horror / rock, which there's pretty much like 2 rock bands left, like sincere rock bands. Yeah, I think it's Foo Fighters and I think it's Foo Fighters. I think that's it.
Imagine Dragons, of course.
Silence. Hopefully we get some fun songs out of this. And he's always been such a ham, like to see him like unleashed. I'm very excited for it. It could be a total disaster because, a little bit of this might go a long way. It might grow a little stale and once it goes past, thriller length. But I'm definitely going to be here opening night. If we can.
This looks so fun. Yeah, just the idea that they're playing themselves and it seems like something like 40 years ago, like Kiss would have done. Like,
well, they would go to the amusement park, right?
Right. So the fact that they just decided it's a pandemic, what else are we gonna do? Let's make a horror movie about ourselves.
Yeah.
Recording an album and crazy horror shit happens. I'm sold on that.
Yep. And then we move finally to the Bob's Burgers movie, which, look, it doesn't give you much, but if you like Bob's Burgers, how about more? This is kind of in the vein of like a Simpsons movie or maybe an Aqua Teens movie, where they're just saying it's a supersized episode, which I think more often than not is a great idea. Why not do that? I love the show. I think that a 90-minute version of it should be fine. I don't know if this is a theater movie for me, like, because it's not exactly a sumptuous visual delight. Your average Bob's Burgers episode. I don't feel like I need to see this on a big screen, even though that was front and center in the ad. But this is like a day one streaming purchase for me. What do you guys think of the Bob's Burgers trailer?
The animation does look really great. I'm excited. I'm hoping at least 15 minutes of it is new
I'm going to
songs.
stop you right there, Danielle. There's like a Pixar animator who just spun in their grave.
Okay,
but it looks amped up.
It looks better than it usually does. I'll say that. That's what I mean. Like on the scale of Bob's Burgers to Bob's Burgers, this is a better one.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm really hoping, like I said, like 15 to 20 minutes of it are new songs, because I really love the way that they do their songs. But yeah, no, I love Bob's Burgers. I will definitely be watching it. Am I going to the theater? I don't know.
I actually have seen Bob's Burgers a little bit. I've enjoyed what I've seen of it, but I will check this out. I also want to mention, for anyone wondering, because this came up a lot on Twitter, it just was bad optics, as they say, that we found out Pixar that they were turning red to streaming only Disney Plus, and then like days later, Disney puts out a Bob's Burgers in theaters only trailer. From what we've heard, that is contractual 20th Century Fox stuff pre-Disney, that they cannot easily switch these to streaming only. There's a reason no 20th movie going back to New Mutants has gone to streaming, because it's too much work and money for Disney to put into doing that. So they didn't make the decision like Bob's Burgers must be theaters. That's how it worked out legally.
So ridiculous. I mean, that just has like a Hulu original written all over it, but a fun one.
I will say Bob's Burgers, compared to other animated shows, they're not punchy in the same way that a Simpsons is. So it kind of is like, you kind of just like the characters and they're saying funny things in a weird way, which sounds like I'm ripping the show. I actually love it. It's more of a King of the Hill versus like a very punchy Simpsons. So I actually would be interested to see if maybe that does translate better over 90 minutes, because you really is about the momentum of whatever the characters are kind of doing versus this run of jokes.
It's not a Family Guy. It's not joke a minute. So I think that they have a chance to tell like a nice, sweet, funny story with that. So
and the songs for sure will be there.
Yeah, not variant worthy for me, but still excited. Whatever variant we're dealing with then. All right. Speaking of things we're gonna have to deal with, they announced a lot of reboots, remakes, and sequels this week. Who boy did they ever? Wow, we have so many. There's so many.
It's like they're just reaching into a box of paper and just pulling them out at this point.
Maybe I'll just say them one at a time, and Danielle and Eric, you just give me thumbs up, thumbs down, and then we can, if you have more to say, by all means, opine. We start with the sequels, the straight sequels. Denzel Washington is back for Equalizer 3. Did not know they made an Equalizer 2. Are we in for 3? Is
it going to tie in with that Queen Latifah show? Like, I don't.
All right.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
The two Equalizers. Yeah, they could have the crossover.
Equalizer multiverse.
Right. There's another Equalizer?
Some pretty tepid yeses. Okay, great. Red Notice 2 and 3, because all movies are Red Notice now. So why not make more Red Notice?
The algorithm wants what the algorithm wants. I didn't watch the first one. I know a lot of people watched it, and then I don't think anyone thought about it again. but now they're counting on people watching it and not thinking about it 2 and 3, another couple times.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
They just
Netflix
want you to passively watch the famous people, guys. That's all they need you to do.
It's like a movie and a screensaver, like at the same time. It's just something to gaze at while you're doing something else.
I want just 2 hours of liquor commercials, just like 2 hours of the rocks tequila.
All of their boutique liquor brands will make an appearance. We'll have
Netflix is like, we are here for your multitasking needs.
Yeah.
So just sit back and do, play some games, catch up on some email, and have something in the background that once in a while you glance up at, and we're good.
Yeah, hopefully by that time, like Gal Gadot will have like her own hard fizzy water or something that she can also show.
Doesn't she have like a pasta? She has something that you wouldn't expect.
Oh,
yeah, okay. It's a pasta, I think, because she has mac and cheese, right?
Mac and cheese, that's right. When you think mac and cheese, you think Gal Gadot. Okay, moving on. This might be interesting to you, Eric. Final Destination 6 for HBO Max, produced by the Spider-Man director John Watts. Apparently, he had the idea for it and is making it happen. We want to have another Final Destination?
We sure do. I mean, this is a great. I actually think this is a super fun franchise. There's only one bad one, I think, the fourth one. The rest are all good to great, just having fun with their crazy mousetrap deaths. It's easy. They're so barely linked as like a series. There's like very little connective tissue. So Final Destination 6, they're probably not going to call it that, but they'll probably still have some callback, and Tony Todd will show up, and it'll be cool. But I kind of wondered for a while. I'm like, they're sitting, like Warner Brothers sitting on this, and when I heard it was HBO Max, I'm like, of course it's HBO Max. That's this seems perfect as an HBO Max movie, bringing back Final Destination.
They're at 6 now. When are they going to get to the destination?
Come on, it's the journey, man.
That was the journey all along. Yes. All right, HBO Max is doing Degrassi again. Danielle,
I'm a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, did you once upon a time have affinity for Wheelchair Jimmy and Drake in general?
I did. I watched it when I was younger, but I feel like this is not for me unless they go full Euphoria.
Yeah. I was gonna say, are they gonna like Gossip Girl it or Euphoria? Like, are they gonna make it more adult and current, or are they gonna just do Degrassi?
Well, it always has been like a little current, but it's always like it just always has that stink of after school special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're gonna learn today about like some heavy topics, guys.
I think this is, and I haven't watched Degrassi ever, but I think this is the first time it's hour-long episodes. At least the people on Twitter seem to be reacting to, it's hour-long. So maybe a little more mature. I don't know.
And I believe some CW people behind it, right? Like the Rivendell
that makes sense.
Part of that are on to produce it.
So. Okay, let's just roll on. Tim Allen is returning as the Santa Claus in the franchise, The Santa Claus, which caused everyone to misspell clause for a generation. It's a pun. It's about the legal clause. He's returned for a Disney Plus series where we can assume he will hand off the title when he is murdered by his son.
The log line is that he's like 65 and realizes it's time for a new Santa, but the implicit nature of how does that happen is what has everyone talking.
Yeah. You have to take Santa Claus from his cold dead body as the franchise is already established. Like I think it should earlier, be like it was Highlander for the holidays.
It's either Highlander or it's like the Passion of the Santa. Like it ends
He's gonna sacrifice himself.
It's big sacrifice.
But like he can't be killed, I don't think. Like or at least like his body retakes the form of Santa no matter what he does to it. So I wonder if that gives him like a healing effect if he falls off a chimney or something like that. Like I don't think he could break his neck on purpose.
We're getting to like a Wolverine versus Tim Allen Santa Claus here.
I say just do autoerotic asphyxiation, like with the lights, string lights.
Oh God. Yo, ho, ho.
I'm already punchy. It's Friday.
Yeah. Here's another one. I haven't seen Justified. I want to see Justified. I hear it's good, but that is coming back in a limited series sequel for FX. It'd be weird if I started with that. But I do want to go back. Maybe it'll get me to go back and watch Justified. Have any of you seen that show?
I broke up my beanie. And I'm a huge fan. My wife and I are actually huge fans. We have a poster up in our house for it too. Now, I love Justified. Great show. It really, that sort of Elmore Leonard funny crime vibe that is other stuff like Get Shorty, like and Out of Sight, the best Elmore Leonard adaptations. I felt that that completely nailed and Justified. So I'm excited. It sounds like it'll be very much just like Timothy Olyphant is back as Raylan Givens on a new adventure in a new city. So it's not going to be like picking up a bunch of the supporting characters from the other show, but that's fine because Raylan's cool and that kind of vibe is cool. So I'm in. And Spencer, I think you'd enjoy Justified.
Yeah, I hear so many good things, and for so long, but I just kind of forgot about it until I heard this news. All right, for the last one here, we're going to do an impromptu TV fight, or / movie fight. It's a crossover episode. I am going to give. Well, you tell me which ones you want. What is going to be the more of a can't miss reboot or remake? The Real Steel Disney Plus series or the To Catch a Thief remake with Gal Gadot? Speak first to call your shot, and then you'll have to argue it out.
Oh gosh, which one of these do I remember the most? I guess I'll do Real Steel.
All right, Danielle's taking.
I've seen neither, so I'm going to completely fake it through anything I say.
Oh, it's a Moviefies tradition. And right. Eric is going to defend To Catch a Thief with Gal Gadot, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds or whatever. Danielle, go for it.
Did you like Rock'em Sock'em Robots? Did you enjoy Hugh Jackman? Do you like things that are both real and made of steel? If so, I think that this will be the show for you. It's got like a robot best friend who doesn't love that. I'm not sure who it's going to star, but I'm sure there will be a very precocious child. So this is if that is your bag, Evangeline Lilly will probably come back. What's she doing? That's it. Go watch the Real Steel series for robot punching.
All right, and now Eric will improv his way through why To Catch a Thief is a can't miss reboot.
Remaking Alfred Hitchcock, you can never go wrong. Everyone nails it, and I don't see why that won't happen again here with Gal Gadot and To Catch a Thief. I don't know if she's catching a thief or she's a thief who needs to be caught, but I'm sure she's going to nail it either way. It's from Fast and Furious producer Neil Moritz. They made magic together in the past. They'll make magic together again here. Maybe she'll play Giselle. Giselle's alive, but now she's off catching a thief or being a thief. We'll figure it out. But I think that there's just no way you go wrong with all these elements. And Paramount Pictures, you've nailed it. To catch a thief, everyone. It's hot.
It's hot. Time. Danielle wins. But I do want to say, To Catch a Thief, it is a great classic movie. And, Grace Kelly is probably one of the most beautiful classic film stars of all time. But that's not really the role that I think, unless they're doing like a role gender swap or something like that. Like Cary Grant's character is the one where you need like the real charisma and gravitas. He might be the coolest character in film is him in that movie. He plays, actually, I think I wrote it down back when I watched it, is that he's an ex-acrobat, ex-jewel thief, ex-French resistance fighter who killed 72 Germans, then retired to a villa in Cannes. Like, who's gonna be that guy? Who's gonna go toe to toe with Cary Grant?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, baby.
There it is.
Which Spider-Man will play?
Which Spider-Man will play?
Pete Davidson, guys. Pete Davidson.
And the thing is, with him, you believe it. I feel like everyone of that age and that time did kill 72 Germans and retired to a villa in Cannes.
Sure.
The greatest generation, indeed. So that's why I'm looking forward to that one. Is who's gonna play opposite Gal Gadot? Because Grace Kelly, she she's beautiful, but she just has to be like my jewels. All right, now, moving on. Let's talk about Peacemaker, which is coming. Did it come out today?
It's out. I know it came out yesterday, on Thursday,
which is days ago.
yes. And you should
please tell us more.
Episodes. No, I really dig this show. It's super fun. Watch the first 3 episodes. They're on HBO Max now. Obsess on the opening credits and the amazing dance sequence you'll find there. But yeah, I spoke to John Cena. And I spoke to a bunch of the cast, including Robert Patrick and a couple of the producers. And we talked about kind of redefining or conceptualizing, I guess, what people think of Peacemaker coming out of the Suicide Squad. And we talked about all the glam rock that this show is wall to wall with and why it's so great. And you should check that out.
Awesome. Let's roll it. And we'll see you tomorrow in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Truth is, I'm supposed to be in prison.
For what?
superhero stuff.
What superhero are you?
Peacemaker.
Get out of here. There's no superhero called Peacemaker.
From an audience viewpoint, we left Peacemaker in a pretty villainous place at the end of the Suicide Squad. So what were your conversations like with James as you approached this show and kind of reframing what we think of Peacemaker?
My first question was, how is he alive? And James said, I got that part covered. And I said, well, hell, let's go. I think it depends on how you interpret the Suicide Squad. Peacemaker does some dastardly shit. There's no, and he does it in the guise of peace. I'm doing whatever I need to do to keep the peace. That's a contradiction in terms in its own right. But he does have very human moments in the Suicide Squad, and I think they're overlooked by his dedication to his core value or his ethos.
You know, I think the interesting thing for me is kind of exploring who Harcourt is and why she hates him so much. And the interesting question that I have about Harcourt is, would she have done the same thing that Peacemaker did in the Suicide Squad if that was her mission?
James, who obviously wrote and directed the movie as well, had this very specific idea of how he wanted to approach this character and using this superhero as a way to sort of unpack this deeply flawed and very unlikable guy. And so over the course of these 8 episodes, he really bears his soul, and you get to see what makes him tick.
And I think Peacemaker isn't about redefining who Peacemaker is. I think it's about exploring who Peacemaker is. And Peacemaker is a dude who has had a series of events which has made him question his entire life. And I think that's very relevant to a lot of us living. We have moments, hell, the last 2 years have made a lot of folks question their entire life. So I think it's weird that he runs around in a uniform and a series of helmets. So his job necessarily isn't something we can relate to. But what he's going through, I think, is something all of us can.
Aren't you guys being a little nonchalant about all this?
Are you insinuating there is a wrong time and a right time to rock?
Music, of course, is also very important to James's work. Continues here with the great use of all the glam rock. Peter, can you talk about that and the use of it sort of reflecting Peacemaker the show and Peacemaker the man?
In Guardians of the Galaxy, James brought all this great 1970s music back to public consciousness. I think that he saw an opportunity with glam metal and hair metal to do the same thing with the Peacemaker show, taking somewhat a reviled and out of favor genre and bringing it back to popularity. But he really thought it was the perfect match with Peacemaker.
James likes really pulling from some like random areas, like his soundtracks. We get a playlist with each episode that we can push, hit the cues when it says in the directions like Hanoi Rocks or the Choir Boys starts to play, and you're hearing it as you're reading it, and it's like incredible.
Hey, don't worry. I'm not giving this guy anything.
Maybe you could just give him a little.
As part of the fun of working on a show like this, like you get these sort of mundane moments of the almost office politics. You guys are arguing, you guys are in the van, and then you also get the insanity of weird alien looking butterflies mixed into it all.
There's just so much in James's lexicon and his encyclopedia of movies and TV that you recognize these movies as you're filming it. So I did love the fact that you get these crazy discussions where I'm about to lose my shit with these guys, and then this crazy action and sci-fi after that. It's the best of all worlds, really.
It's so entertaining. Like you just have these moments of, if you take away the silliness, and then it would just be an actual torture scene or something, something horrible. Yeah. So it just lay it in with the comedy, and then all the office comedy, but then you've got butterflies and you've got it just makes it very entertaining.
I wanted to be in a James Gunn project. I felt so lucky that he called me up and said, "Hey, I created a role for you. You're just this horrible father." I think his films are so entertaining. Now he's got 8 episodes to put that entertainment out there. You watch Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just like, wow, what a mind came up with this.
Eat peace, mother.